over land, sea and sky.
The wonderful creatures of this world come in many different shapes and sizes. The story I'm going to tell you now is about
the biggest and the smallest of them all. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a city that had fallen into ruin. The people who lived there had left long ago, and the jungle had begun to creep back in. Plants curved round the tumbled down houses,
and trees pushed their way up through cracks in the road where carts had once travelled.
This crumbling city was home to an enormous family of mice.
There had always been mice here,
hidden away under floorboards and in forgotten spaces behind walls. But now they had no need to hide and lived their lives happily and peacefully together.
Other animals lived in the city too. Tigers and tortoises and 100 different birds.
But the mice were the oldest and most respected family. Although they were very small, they were very clever. And the other animals often went to them to ask for help with their problems.
One day, a huge herd of travelling elephants approached the city walls on their way to the river to drink.
Usually, the elephants would have gone around the city. But this particular day was so very hot, and the elephants were
so very thirsty,
that the king of the elephants decided to march straight through the heart of the city.
But what were the poor mice to do?
They scurried away in fear as the elephant thundered through the streets, crushing the little houses beneath their enormous feet. "Stop! Watch out!" called the terrified mice.
But they were so tiny, the elephants didn't even notice them or hear their desperate cries.
As the last of the elephants went crashing out through the city gates, the mice looked around in dismay at their flattened homes.
They gathered in front of their leader. "Oh, Prince of the Mice," they said.
"Look what the elephants have done. What will happen if the elephants come for our city again?"
The prince raised his paw.
"Don't worry,"
he reassured them. "I will go to speak to the king of the elephants."
The prince of the mice found the elephants calmly drinking at the river, unaware of the damage they had caused. Their king was standing in the shade of a tall tree, glad to be cool at last.
The mouse prince climbed up to the highest branch until he was face to face with the giant. He trembled as he found himself looking into eyes that were almost as big as he was. But the mice were all depending on him. The prince drew himself up to his full height. "Dearest King Elephant," he began politely, "won't you hear this mouse speak?"
The king of the elephants was startled. "What can I do for you, little mouse?" he boomed.
He couldn't believe that a tiny mouse was standing before him. "Good king," the prince replied, "when you walk through our city, you break our homes and frighten our family. We would be so grateful if you found a different route. In return, we promise to be your friends and to help you if ever you are in need." The king of the elephants laughed so loudly that the trees shook. "Little mouse," he said, "why would elephants need your help when you are so tiny and we are so big?"
"But you are brave, it's true, and so I will do as you request and lead my herd another way."
The prince of the mice smiled and thanked the king of the elephants.
He returned to the city and the mice began to rebuild their damaged homes.
The elephants were true to their word and did not come back through the city again.
Months passed, and the memory of that terrible day soon faded, until it became just a story the mice told their children.
Then one night when the mice was fast asleep, a loud trumpeting sound echoed across the city.
Tra-tra! Tra-tra!
The frightened mice all rushed into the streets to see what was happening.
The prince, who was older now and had become a king, was puzzled at first. Then he understood.
Follow me,
He commanded.
we have a promise to keep.
The trumpeting sounds led the mice to the river.
When a terrible sight met their eyes,
The entire herd of elephants was trapped under a huge storm hunter's net. They were trumpeting in alarm, their desperate cries echoing through the jungle. Quick, the Mouskin told the other mice. The hunters might return at any moment. We must chew through the net and free our friends. The mice, they ran to the net and swiftly, skillfully, used their sharp little teeth to bite through the tough cords. As one by one the elephants shook themselves free.
they trumpeted in delight and stamped their great feet.
The baby elephants helped all the mice up on their backs and gently, carefully carried their kind little friends back home to the city. As the king of the elephants said their goodbyes, "Thank you, good king," he said.
I was wrong to think that elephants are greater than mice.
Though you are small, you are mighty, and we will be forever grateful to our friends.
The mice for helping us when we needed you the most. So, like animals, friends too can come in all shapes and sizes.
And those brave, kind little mice
Show that the smallest can often be the mightiest of all.
Not everyone you see as they first appear.